Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Michael Hagan, head coach here at Apex Karate Performance. It's the first week of August. The Tokyo Summer Olympics have already started, and we're just a few short days away from karate making its official debut as an Olympic sport. Most of the athletes have already entered the athletes' village, and they're doing their last bit of training prior to competition starting on August 5th. And in my earlier video, I gave a breakdown of the qualification process, some of the divisions, and some of the key athletes that you should watch for. And so if you haven't seen that, I recommend you go ahead and check that out. But today I wanted to focus on four very special athletes. And those are the four athletes that are going to represent the United States in karate. And that's Sakura Kokumai, Ariel Torres, Brian and the team captain, Tom Scott. All right, so we're going to talk about Sakura Kokumai here for a minute. We're going to start off with Sakura. And for those of you who may not know, Sakura has been the backbone of female kata in the United States for probably the past 6, 7, 8 years, maybe even a little bit longer. You know, multiple time Pan American champion, Pan Am Games winner, WKF World Championships bronze medalist. But Sakura got her start at the International Karate Federation in Hawaii. And for those of you that may not know, that was a powerhouse in USA Karate. That was founded by Chuzo Kotaka sensei, and his son, George Kotaka, is a 2-time WKF world champion. Lisa Au is a 3-time WKF world champion. Other WKF world championship medalists, Emi Kurita, Shannon Nishi, and just they have a whole generation of strong athletes, and that's where Sakura got her start. Then also being Japanese American, she spent a lot of time in Japan, and she actually was able to attend Doshisha University, and she was in the karate club there, and she was actually the same year as Ono Hikaru, who's a member of the Japanese national team, and they competed in team kata together at the All Japan Student Championships and got silver, I believe it was. And then she went to graduate school at Waseda, also and then moved to Tokyo to go to school in Waseda, and where she also was a member of the karate club there. And so when the Olympics were announced, Sakura gave up her job. She quit her job in pursuit of achieving her dream. And so it's going to be amazing to watch her when she goes out there this week and represents the United States. And I hope that you all cheer for her. Next, I want to talk about Ariel Torres. And I mentioned briefly in my earlier video that Ariel is, well, let's just put it this way. Ariel's first Premier League event was in 2018. The first qualifying event, I believe it was Berlin Premier League 2018. And if you'd have told me back then that Ariel would have been selected to represent the United States, one of the 10 athletes, I probably wouldn't have believed it. But having watched Ariel for the last 3 years, his growth has been tremendous and just outstanding. The work ethic that he has put in has been phenomenal, and he shot through the ranks. He, like I said before in my earlier video, he won the 2019 Pan American Championships, defeated Antonio Diaz, and then got silver at the Pan American Games. Just recently got a bronze medal in a Premier League, and he was the first one, he was the winner of the Paris qualifying event. So he didn't make it on points. He was just outside on points qualifying, but he had just an outstanding performance in Paris and had the highest score. He won every single round of kata that he did, first through the qualifying rounds, and then in the finals, the round robin against the other qualifying peoples. And so, he is definitely one to look for when we're there in Paris. And, I've been watching him. He's been posting his stuff on his Instagram. And one thing that highlights Ariel's work ethic for me is 1%. He talks about just pushing that 1% more, getting just a little bit better every day. And you can really see that. And I'm really hoping that he has success in Paris. I'm really rooting for him. All right, next up, we're going to talk about Brian, male Kumite plus 75. And you don't hear a lot about Brian. He's probably what I would consider one of the quiet professionals of Team USA. But he goes out there and he puts the work in and he trains hard and he gets the results. And that's evidenced by his 2019 Pan Am Games gold medal, his PKF gold medalist, multiple PKF bronze medalist, 2015 Games bronze medalist, and most recently in 2020 Premier League Salzburg, he got the silver medal. And I'm really looking forward to watching Brian, because one of the things that we have to take into account is that this is the games, right? This is not the qualification process, so it's going to be everybody just going out there and giving their all. And I think Brian is one that we can really watch and really look forward to putting on a good performance out there. All right, last up, we're going to talk about Tom Scott, male kumite minus 75. And Tom is the captain of the USA national team. And earlier I described Sakura as the backbone of female kata, and Tom Scott definitely fills that role on the kumite side. It's hard to argue with 5 PKF gold medals and 2 Pan Am Games gold medals, let alone the numerous USA championship medals, titles. And so, one thing to look at is that Tom and Brian both come from the same dojo, and they have an amazing program down there. And recently, Tom put it in an interview that this is going to be the time to take all the risks, to go out there and to give it everything. And that kind of highlights everything for some of these athletes. The qualification process is over. The only thing they have to lose now is medals. So the only thing that they can do is go ahead and give it their all. And so, Tom, when it comes to the kumite, Tom has just as much chance of medaling, even a chance of getting a gold, as any other athlete out there. All right, so now we've talked about the 4 athletes that are going to represent Team USA in the Tokyo Summer Olympics: Sakura Kokumai, Ariel Torres, Brian Ear, and Tom Scott. So I really hope that you guys go out there, support Team USA, and support these athletes as they give it their all in a hope to bring medal back for Team USA. So now you know what to do. So go get to work, and we'll see you out there.